Debt isn't a dirty word. It's a strategy. We got to debunk some money myths today. Hi, my name's Monica. I am a nurse practitioner by trade. I am a money manager at heart. I wrote the book, Girls Just Want to Have Funds, available on Amazon, and it shows 4 simple steps to financial freedom. I think they're pretty simple, and if you implement them in your life, no matter where you're at in your life, you're going to have peace with a capital P. The younger you do it, the better. But if you didn't do it yesterday, when's the best time to do something? Today. No matter what your age, even if you're already in retirement, this book and these steps can help you. I developed this channel because I wanted to get this information out to other people, just to share what has been so successful for me in my financial journey, to where I can retire at this age. I'm still keeping my hand in the pot though, because I don't think medicine gets out of you. And also, I do a type of therapy that people need to work on. It's not just chit chat therapy. It's actually put the rubber to the road therapy. And you don't need to stick with me for a long time when you're in my therapy clinic. And so I want to do that same thing and reach a broader audience on YouTube. Hey, debt is not a dirty word. Just like in my area where budget used to be a cuss word, it's not a cuss word. It's just telling your money where to go. There is good debt and there's bad debt. So what's the difference? I'll tell you some of the difference. I think good debt would be something like a mortgage. Good debt, sometimes you have to have one car payment, but I would keep it very low. Not everybody can pay cash for cars, and not everybody lives close enough to their house where they can drive a junker until they can put more car payments away. It's a great idea if you can do it and never have a car payment, but sometimes you have to have a car payment. I would keep it as low as possible. If you can keep that car payment and just have one in your family, but below $500, you're going to be able to save so much more for your retirement and those other things that you really need along the way. So bad debt is that stuff that maybe you put on a credit card that you didn't have to have. It was paying for things that weren't the 4 necessities. A roof over your head, utilities going around in there. You don't always have to have air conditioning, but I really like it. You can keep it higher than what other people do and use fans, but your utilities are very important. Having a car to get you back and forth to employment, and of course food. You have to have those 4 things. Bad debt might be my 5th set of scrubs when I didn't really need them. My other scrubs weren't worn out. I'll tell you some of my things. My 3rd pair of running shoes. But I will tell you this, my running shoes wear out before they look worn out, because they wear out. If you're a runner, you'll know what I mean. They wear out before they look bad, on the cushioning and how my foot sets in there, and then my knee starts hurting. So that's what tells me about running shoes. Let's make debt work for you, not the other way around. So debt in an appreciating asset like your house that appreciates over time. Of course, you may not ever going to be selling your house. I like having a home, but I have heard some money managers talk like, if you could just rent, you don't have the upkeep of a home, you don't have the property taxes, which they can jack up the property taxes anytime way above what you think they should be, and you're still stuck with it. Some people I know in a town close to me are stuck with property taxes that used to be my house payment, and just because their taxes in their city are so high. So there's things that are good about not owning property. You don't have to do the upkeep. If the roof needs replaced, they do it for you. There's also some things that are peaceful about owning a little piece of land yourself. So you need to decide what's good and bad debt. But I would say any revolving credit that you're not paying off every month is bad debt. So you want to make it work for you, that you're putting your money into interest-bearing accounts, you're investing your money. If you have any retirement account at work, put in up to the point they match. Don't even think twice about it. And sometimes when you're in your younger years, it's nice to have those tax deductions, and that's what I did. I kept increasing it. Every time I got paid, I would increase it. If I got a 2% pay, I would increase it until they told me you can't increase anymore. And at that time, I think it was 17% of my pay eventually that I got up to. But you want to invest that money, and if you're young, 10 years away from retirement, I'd go S&P 500 all the way, or an index fund that mimics it. I would go S&P 500 all the way, because every 10 years we know that stock market goes back up. So I'm not trying to give you financial advice. That's just my personal opinion. Talk to somebody if you want some financial advice. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about debt payoff, because if you pay off debt and you free up a little money here and there, like for instance, we were spending $700 a month eating out. We decided to spend $300. We didn't go to nicer restaurants. We just did some little fast food, some pizzas and stuff. So we took that other $400 and started hitting debt. In my book, I call it the debt locomotive. And so if any of you know the little engine that could, and how the big engines don't want to climb and take those petty little toys over the boys and girls over the hill. The little engine had never done that. And if you go back to read that book, you'll find out that the little engine is a female. I did that after I had written a book and talked about it and wanted to just know a little bit more and read the book again. That little engine's a female. I think I can. I know I can. I know I can. And she takes the toys over that big hill, even though she'd never done that before, to deliver them to all the good little boys and girls. How very sweet, very good story, and on willpower. And I used to use that with my kids all the time when they were in a sport or something and they really needed to perform, like, I know I can, I know I can. And we would say that to each other. We read that book, The Little Engine That Could, a lot when they were young. So I use a debt locomotive, and there's a lot of different ways to do it. Some people will say start hitting the debt with the highest interest first. So if you got to write down all your debts first, because otherwise you won't know what they are or what percentage, and that might require going online or calling them to ask. And the reason I like this my way better is I like to pay off little debts. So I owe $78 to JCPenney, and it might be less interest than what I owe Victoria's Secret. Okay. But I can pay that I freed up $400. Boom. The $78 debt is gone. Oh, I feel so good. So now I move on to that Victoria's Secret bill, and I put the extra $300 plus the $50 payment that I would be putting on there anyway together. And I'm knocking out debts until I get to something like a car loan, or maybe I have $7,000 on a Visa. Hey, people do it now all the time. They don't pay their credit card bills off every month. Sometimes they have a lot of bills. Let's work on a debt payoff plan together. And to do that, you need to list them, list the percentages, and list what the payoff is to really get a good focus on it. If you like what you've heard today, click subscribe, click like, and send it to somebody that this can help. This channel is going to be made to help people use 4 simple steps to get out of debt no matter what age you are. I can help you. I can be your financial therapist. Have a great day.